If you are like me, then you would like to reduce the appearance of your pores. I think that there are a lot of people out there who would love to simply know what they can do to improve the appearance of their pores. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician, and today's video is going to be a really simple rundown of what I think you should be doing in your everyday skincare routine to help to protect you and protect your skin from the evolution of a distended pore. But then I'm also going to give you 4 budget products that I think are absolutely amazing to help to treat pores if you already find yourself with congested skin, or you have some blackheads, or you're noticing that the size of your pores seems to be getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so first of all, let's start off with what is a pore. A pore, as most of us know, is just an opening in our skin where sebum is allowed to escape, that is oil. It's also the opening of our hair follicle. Now, that oil and that sweat, they're kind of important in, moisturizing our skin, moisturizing our hair. It's a really important process that happens, but sometimes that process gets gunked up, literally. Bacteria gets involved, that sebum might get a little bit hard, and we end up with kind of a plugged up pore. And what happens when the pores get plugged up is they kind of distend, they stretch out a little bit. Not only that, the hardened sebum kind of takes on a darkened appearance, aka blackheads, and gives us this kind of dotted dullness, a texture, as it is also stretching out those pores, making them appear larger. Now, something else that can contribute to the size appearance of our pores is simply age and the way that our skin starts to lose some of its elasticity and just the stretching out because the skin starts to sag. Now, there are different approaches for helping to mitigate all of that. Number 1 is to wear an SPF every single day. Sun damage directly affects the size of our pores. It also affects the collagen in our skin, and the quality of our collagen in our skin is going to affect the sagginess of our skin, the tautness of our skin, the overall health of our skin. So wearing an SPF, while it seems like it's super disconnected from our pores, it isn't. Number 2, wash your face at night. It is pretty simple, but lots of people don't do it. Even just wearing that sunscreen, if we don't take it off at some point, it can start to gunk up those pores and slowly over time stretch them out, making them look bigger. Washing your face at night is probably the simplest way to keep our pores smaller, tauter, and more refined. The third thing is to incorporate a retinoid into our skincare routine. Now, this has so many benefits, but pores are one of them. The reason for that is, number 1, it helps with that collagen production. And the more healthy our collagen is, the more collagen that we have, the better off we are as far as the skin being able to stay kind of taut like when we were young and we were collagen rich. So retinoids are super duper important. The other thing about a retinoid is, of course, it's helping with the turnover of our skin, which is just going to help with a more refined surface of our skin. And it's going to help with kind of moving things along so nothing gets kind of backed up and plugged up, and helps to stretch out those pores. Now, the final thing that we can do is we can incorporate products with salicylic acid. Now, salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid. I'm sure you've heard of it before. And it is the thing that's going to help to keep our pores clear. It's going to help brighten our skin, and it's also going to help with oil regulation and just overall kind of keeping those pores looking the most refined. Now, salicylic acid comes in lots of versions. You can get it in a mask, a toner, you can get it in a serum, a face wash. There's lots of ways to get your salicylic acid. And the good news is salicylic acid actually is effective in all of those ways. Even when you wash it off, it's still effective. So face washes with salicylic acid are fantastic. It's a great way if you are somebody who doesn't want to incorporate a serum or a mask or anything like that with salicylic acid, simply incorporate it as a face wash and you're done. You've gotten some salicylic acid on board and it's effective. Now, the reason why salicylic acid is so effective is because it is oil loving. So imagine this acid as a Pac-Man that loves to eat up oil and sebum and all of that gunk. So if every single pore on your face, especially in areas where we produce a lot of oil, if they all kind of get a little gunked up, they're not efficiently getting rid of that sebum, it's hardening a little bit, you're starting to notice that you've got, some blackheads and whatnot. All of that is contributing to the stretching out of your pores, right? So salicylic acid can actually go in and kind of eat away at the edges of those pores, which means that when you wash your face the next time, it's going to allow for the gunk, the dirt, the debris, all of that stuff to come out because it's loosened up. So salicylic acid itself doesn't get rid of the debris. It doesn't pull it out or anything like that. It just loosens it all up so that it effectively just goes away as you wash your face. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 products that are all uber budget friendly that are different categories of salicylic acid. Number 1 is going to be the CeraVe. This is the SA face wash. This is an absolutely fantastic face wash. It is perfect for all skin types. It doesn't have a huge amount of salicylic acid. Salicylic acid actually works really well between 0.5% all the way up to 2%. It has some soothing ingredients in it as well. I do not find that this strips my skin in any way, and it is super duper affordable. So this is a fantastic face wash if you want to just dip your toe into the salicylic acid pool. This is a good one, and you won't interrupt the rest of your skincare routine if you already have one, kind of solid. Next one is going to be a toner. This one is also really good for all ages. I find this Peach Slices, this is the acne exfoliating toner. It is not just for acne. This one is salicylic acid, but it also has lactic and glycolic. The reason why I think that this one is fantastic is because the lactic is hydrating and glycolic can help with collagen production. So to me, if you are someone who is my age, I'm going to be 49 next month, if you are noticing congestion, but you also don't want to strip your skin, you don't want to dry your skin out, this one might be a nice one for areas of congestion without stripping your skin. I also like toners because once you're done your toning, you can just move on with your skincare routine, and you have incorporated some salicylic acid, you've loosened up that debris, and over time with continued use, you will notice that your pores are clearer and clearer, so they will look more refined. Okay, next is going to be a mask. This one is from The Ordinary. This is a salicylic acid 2% mask. Now, this one is definitely the one to me that is more for people who are oily, acne prone, and have congestion that they are noticing. This has salicylic acid in 2%, but it also has charcoal in it. This one is really great for mopping up oil, refining the pores. It gives you an instant satisfaction. It's a black colored mask that I've used on my T-zone, and I didn't find that it actually stripped my skin. I actually felt like it really refined the pores there. But because I'm normal to dry, it's probably not something that I would use very often. It would be really like, oh, I'm noticing some congestion, and I would only use it in those areas. So this is one to me that is great if you have enlarged pores and you are oily or acne prone and you are trying to sop up some oil and you really need to work on that overproduction of oil and congestion. This one is a fantastic product. The last one is going to be also from The Ordinary. This is their salicylic acid 2% solution. Now, the way that I would use this is in conjunction with any other acids. Salicylic acid plays really well with lactic and glycolic. So I like to keep all of my acids in the same part of the routine. Usually that's in the morning. And of course, I always make sure that I follow up with adequate sun protection, always. Now, speaking of sun protection, I definitely have 2 recommendations that I think are perfect if you have congestion, if you're worried about acne, if you're worried about your pores, and that is from Dermatology. I'll link it in the description box, and also Elta MD UV Clear. Those 2, which are pretty much identical, both contain 5% niacinamide. The reason why that is important is that niacinamide is another ingredient that is really, really helpful for the appearance of pores. It's helpful in barrier reinforcement, ceramide production. It is also really great at working on oil regulation. So niacinamide is one of those ingredients that goes hand in hand with salicylic acid. I find that both of those sunscreens are non-comedogenic. They aren't going to cause breakouts. Finding a really good sunscreen that not only is going to help protect you from damage that's going to exacerbate large pores, but finding a good sunscreen that has 5% niacinamide in it, which is super duper helpful, proactively helping your pores, is a really good thing. Now you might want to look through the products that you have, because niacinamide these days is in everything and it's super effective from 2% all the way to 5%. You don't really need to be using 20% niacinamide. You just don't. You might be inviting irritation. So if you already have a sunscreen that you love that doesn't have niacinamide, look at the products that you are already using and see if niacinamide is in those products. Likelihood is you're getting an adequate percentage and you're good to go. But if niacinamide is not in any of your products and you don't have a sunscreen that you already love, check out the one from Dermatology and definitely check out the one from Ulta. Look and see which one you think looks best. But those two are excellent when it comes to working on pores and certainly acne as well. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. I will do my best to answer them. I hope you're having a really wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.